How's it going, everyone? Got a great PlayStation Plus update for you guys. If you did redeem Final Fantasy VII Remake back in March of this year, I believe, we have a good update on that. The PlayStation Blog Game of the Year awards for 2021 have been revealed. Now, this is a polled vote, and, the community voted on it, but I do want to go over it. Some pretty interesting results, so I'll talk about that. And also, George R.R. Martin spoke a little bit about Elden Ring, and we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, the official Final Fantasy VII Twitter account put out this. Starting this Wednesday, PlayStation Plus subscribers who previously redeemed Final Fantasy VII Remake via PlayStation Plus will be able to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Episode Intermission, the DLC featuring Yuffie Kisaragi, will be 25% off for a limited time. Now, this makes a ton of sense for a particular number of reasons. First of all, it's good for those of you that didn't have Final Fantasy VII Remake, the full game, or rather, if you bought the game physically or digitally, and you only had the PlayStation Plus download, you'll be able to upgrade now, and you'll be able to play with the PlayStation 5 improvements. But they know what they're doing here. Square Enix initially didn't have that, so people would buy the Final Fantasy VII, whether it be on PlayStation 5 or if they bought it on PlayStation 4, so they could get that upgrade, especially with that, $70 version they put out on PS5 that included the DLC, but also, now you can have those PlayStation Plus subscribers that had the game through their Plus redemption upgrade to the PS5 version of the game, and thus they can buy and spend money on the DLC featuring Yuffie, and they're putting it at a discount. Trust me, Square Enix knows what they're doing here. It's good for us. Maybe you can make the argument, hey, should the Plus version of the game have been upgradable from the beginning? Sure, but FF7 Remake, even with the PS4 version being on Plus, was a rather nice incentive. So I can't be that mad about that, and the fact is, if you do have the PlayStation 4, or rather the PlayStation Plus version, now going from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 version, pretty notable upgrade, better frame rates, better visuals, all that good stuff, definitely something to check out. The DLC itself isn't anything to completely write home about, definitely does extend the experience, some nice additional content there, and Yuffie's a pretty likable character as well. Nice to see her get a little bit more shine because it's not like she was an integral character in Final Fantasy VII, the original game, so her getting a bit more love in this remake is cool to see, and hopefully that'll persist through the future parts as well. And some interesting little stuff that goes on in the DLC. Let's just keep it at that. If you haven't played it, that does add a little bit, although really, if you got to the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was already a little bit, up in the air what was going on, and then the DLC's ending leaves a little bit more mystery, so to speak. But go play it for yourself, and then you can come to your own conclusion. Don't want to spoil it for you guys. But yeah, at this stage of the game, I'm kind of expecting the future parts of FF7 to be a train wreck. Expect disappointment, and then you'll be pretty happy if it is over-delivering, because Final Fantasy VII, what they're doing, I'm really into it. I love that they're changing things up, and I'm really excited what could potentially happen, but it's Square Enix. It has all the potential to be a crazy story in the best way possible or in the worst way possible, and honestly, I'm excited either way. I'm excited for a potential train wreck. I'm excited to potentially have a great story to get invested into, but whatever we get, it's definitely a worthwhile game to at least play the first part. We'll see where they take it from here. Alright, moving on from that, PlayStation Blog Game of the Year 2021, the winners. They have a lot of different categories, so let's get into all of them. They have the best new character. The winner was Lady Dimitrescu. This is from Resident Evil Village, of course. Kind of surprising she won overall, but the fact is, the character, Resident Evil Village, is on PS4 and PS5, so that probably gives it a bit of an advantage. Second place was Rivet from Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, loved her inclusion as well. Tenzo from Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, and then Alex Chen from Life is Strange True Colors. Best story, Resident Evil Village. Life is Strange True Colors, second place. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, third place. Kind of expected that to be a little bit higher, but Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was at fourth place. I like Ratchet's story as well, even though it wasn't like maybe super engrossing from plot twist standpoint or anything like that. I thought it was a charming enough story that was engaging. So good to see that. Best art direction. The winner is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Number 2, Little Nightmares 2. Surprising to see that be that high up, but definitely well-deserved. Number 3 is It Takes Two. Number 4 is Hades. Best soundtrack. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy won that. Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island Expansion was number 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And Nier Replicant. I would probably give Nier Replicant best soundtrack. Nier Replicant has a tremendous soundtrack. Nier Automata did as well, so no surprise there. But Nier Replicant soundtrack is awesome. I have a bunch of the music downloaded on my phone, and I regularly listen to it, even to this day, and the game came out back in, what, April? So yeah, love the soundtrack in Nier Replicant, but all those are pretty solid, soundtracks. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy had a great soundtrack as well. Best multiplayer experience, It Takes Two, pretty, self-explanatory there. Call of Duty Vanguard at number 2, yeah, I don't know about that one. Number 3, Battlefield 2042, yeah, I don't know about that one either. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker was number 4, so yeah, I think a lot of people would probably go for FF14 being a little bit higher up. COD being number 2, a little bit surprising to me, but It Takes Two at number 1, well-deserved there. Best sports game, FIFA 22. Hot Wheels Unleashed was number 2. Riders Republic at number 3. Number 4 was NBA 2K22. Best accessibility features, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, and yes, they did do a good job at that. Number 2 was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Number 3, Far Cry 6. Number 4, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Best use of DualSense, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Returnal, Resident Evil Village. Best graphics, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, slam dunk, easy pick right there. Best visuals in a console game thus far, in my opinion. Resident Evil Village at number 2, Far Cry 6 at number 3, Tenet Bridge of Spirits at number 4. Best re-release, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, FF7 Remake Intergrade, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I probably would rank a little bit higher given that $60 for 3 games I felt like was pretty good value. Number 4 was Nier Replicant, which I also thought was a nice upgrade there. Maybe the price tag was a little bit too high on Nier Replicant. Independent Game of the Year, Tenet Bridge of Spirits, Hades, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, Disco Elysium, The Final Cut. Disco Elysium is awesome. And then PSVR Game of the Year, Hitman 3, Doom 3 VR Edition, Sniper Elite VR, and I Expect You to Die 2. PS4 Game of the Year, Resident Evil Village, It Takes Two, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 getting that number 4 spot, I found a little bit surprising, but hey. PS5 Game of the Year, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, Returnal, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy at number 4. Studio of the Year, Insomniac, Square Enix, Capcom, Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco, well deserved. I thought they killed it in 2021, so good on them. Insomniac, they put out Ratchet. Last year they did put out Miles Morales, and they've been updating Spider-Man as well, so that's pretty good. Think they're well deserved of that as well. I probably would put Bandai Namco as number 1. As a publisher, they've been doing a really good job. Okay, lastly, I do want to give you guys a little bit of an update on Elden Ring. This is coming from George R.R. Martin himself. He noted on his official website, quote, "A few years back, Hidetaka Miyazaki and his incredible team of game designers, the creators of Dark Souls video game series, reached out from Japan to ask me to help them create the backstory and history for a new game they were working on. Now, video games are not really my thing. Oh, I played a few back in the dawn of my time, mainly strategy games like Railroad Tycoon, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and Master of Orion, but this offer was too exciting to refuse. Miyazaki and his team from Software were doing groundbreaking stuff with gorgeous art, and what they wanted from me was just a bit of world building, deep, dark, resonant world to serve as a foundation for the game they planned to create. And as it happens, I love creating worlds and writing imaginary history, so I did my bit and hand off to my new friends in Japan, and they took it from there. In years past, video games are as big as movies these days and take just as long to create, but the day of Elden Ring is finally at hand, and I've got to say, it looks incredible." So obviously positive words from George R.R. Martin. Obviously, he's also going to be a bit biased given that he laid the foundation for the story, but yeah, I wouldn't expect Martin to be like this big emphasis of the game. That's not really a selling point of the game. He helped out with the foundation of the story, but it's cool to see he helped out. Obviously, people's opinions of him these days vary based on what happened with Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones really isn't something I got super invested into, so it's not like I got really upset with what went down with that, and obviously, who's to blame with the Game of Thrones stuff is really, up to your discretion. I'm not here to really talk about that, but I think he's going to offer something positive towards Elden Ring. From Software, obviously a class of their own in terms of a development studio, and they're going to do a great job with the game. I think that's easy to say. Kind of wish it was a little bit easier to get that Premium Collector's Edition, but hey, hopefully those of you on the wait list can ultimately pick it up. But that's going to do it for me. Again, with PlayStation Plus, you'll be able to upgrade to the PS5 version of FF7 Remake. Definitely do that. The game is so much better on PS5. Runs really well. PlayStation Blog Game Awards are out. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. I know I kind of rushed through it just because there were so many awards. And then George R.R. Martin has positive things to say about Elden Ring. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.